Hello Stellar friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be checking out Desperado by the Eagles. Now what a beautiful ballad. It was actually one of the very first songs that the Eagles wrote together. Now in the lesson we are going to be checking out the chords, the strumming pattern, and that really beautiful intro that we hear at the start of the song. So grab your guitar and let's get started. The first thing we're going to be doing is checking out the chords that we need for the song, and there are quite a number of chords. So we have a G major first. We're also going to need a G7 chord. This is almost like a stretched out C major. We're going to have our first finger on the high E string in the first fret, and then our second finger, second fret, A string, third finger, third fret, E string. That's our G7. We also have a C major chord. E minor is next. We have an A7. We have an A minor chord. We have a D major chord. We're also going to have a D over F sharp. Very easy. All we're going to be doing is taking our thumb and placing it on the low E string in the second fret. And that note is called F sharp. So this is a D with an F sharp in the bass. D over F sharp. So we strum all the strings. Now if this is too difficult for you, then you can just play a regular D major chord whenever you see a D over F sharp in the song. We're also going to need a D7 chord. Okay, and the final two chords we have are bar chords. We have a B minor bar chord. For this, we're going to be barring our first finger in the second fret from the A string down, and we're going to be creating an A minor chord shape here. We're also going to need a C minor chord shape. And for this, we take this exact shape and we're just going to scooch it up to the third fret. And we have our C minor. So that's quite a nice, easy way to remember the two chords. B minor is in the second fret, and our C minor will be playing in the third fret. Now take a moment here to really get familiar with those different chord shapes. If you need to pause the video here now, then do that so that you can practice making sure that your fingers are landing in the right frets on the right strings. It's going to be very important for the song that you understand how those chord shapes work. So take a moment, practice, and when you feel ready, we're going to move on to looking at the verse. So as you can see, our verse chords are up on the screen. We have our G major first. We change to our G7. Then we have a C major next, so it's really nice to go from a G7 to a C major because the chord shape is so similar. From here, we're jumping to a C minor chord. Okay, a little bit more tricky to get from an open chord to a bar chord. But what I like to try do is use my eye to help me aim for the correct string, or actually what I mean is the correct fret. So my eye is going to be checking the fret. I need to aim for the third fret. So my first finger is going to almost take the place of where my third finger was. So from that C, we're going to be going into that bar and then creating our A minor chord shape to make that C minor. Now, if this is confusing for you and you're wondering why is the C minor chord using an A minor chord shape, that doesn't really make sense to you, well, then you would probably really enjoy signing up for my Let's Level Up Guitar course. In that course, we learn all about bar chords. We also touch on power chords, and I teach you how to navigate the fretboard of your guitar so that it doesn't just look like a whole bunch of frets to you. You can start to pinpoint different notes on the fretboard, and it will help you understand bar chords and power chords so much better. So if you want to check that out, the link is below for the Let's Level Up course, and I hope to see you and welcome you into that program. So again, we have that C, changing to that C minor. From here, we're going to be going to a G major. I like to play just a regular open G major here. E minor is next. We then have A7 to our D7. Okay, now just looking at the E minor, A7, D7 quickly, what you can do, and this is going to be helpful for you if you feel like your fingers don't really like to cooperate. What you can do for the E minor is use fingers 2 and 3. Okay, so start with that. Then from here, the A7, you can just bring those same 2 fingers and you're just going to split them over the D and the B string for our A7 chord. And then from here, you take them to the G and the high E string and add your first finger to make a D7 chord. Okay, so this is just really helpful for any guitarist who is just trying to play a song. You have to kind of find the little cheat sheets, ways that are going to make the chord changes easier for you. So you might want to just make a note of that, playing E minor with your second and third finger. We then use the same 2 fingers for A7, and then the same 2 fingers, adding a finger for the D7. Okay, so up to you, but that is just a way around having fingers that are just flailing around and don't really know where they're supposed to be. So we're going to move on to the strumming options. So we have 2 options here. We have a very easy strumming pattern that we can use for the whole song. And what I mean by that is just 2 down strums on each chord. So you're going to strum 1, 2 on every single chord. So why don't we go ahead and try that now with the verse, starting on that G major. We're going to be doing 2 down strums on each of the chords. So here we go, the G, 1, 2, switch to G7, to our C, C minor, back to G, E minor, A7, D7. So this really gives the song a very steady feel. It's perfect for you if you are wanting to really work on your chord changes and not have to worry too much about that strumming hand. So just going forward in the song, you can really get away playing this whole song with just those 2 down strums on each of the chords, okay? But what we're going to be doing next is I'm going to show you a slightly more advanced strumming pattern that can bring a bit more life to the song. And it sounds like this: down, 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 up. So we're keeping the essence of those 2 down strums. We're just adding an extra down and up at the end. And we count this 1, 2, and a. Okay, so there's the 2 beats. 1, 2, and a. And every single chord will get that strumming pattern. So let's try that again with the verse, and we're going to try that pattern down, 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 up on every single chord. And a little tip here is to use that up strum to play open strings so that you can get to the next chord in time. So an example from the G to G7, we'll have down, 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 and that up strum, I'm getting ready to change to the G7. C, up strum, very important to use that up strum from the C to C minor. It's vital. It's going to help you so much getting from that C to the C minor chord. Down, 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 up. Okay, so that you're going to land on that C minor on the first beat. This is how we avoid our chords lagging or sounding messy, okay? We can use those up strums and play open strings. So let's give it a try up to speed with that pattern. Down, 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 up on every single chord. 2, 3, 4. G, G7, C, C minor, and a G chord to E minor, A7 to the D7. Now the second half of the verse is going to be up on the screen for you. You'll see that it is pretty much identical to the first half of the verse, except you'll notice the last few chords are different. So we have an A7 chord and we have a D7 chord contained between brackets. This just means you're going to play one strum on each of the chords. So A7 will get one strum, D7 will get one strum, and then we change to our G, and then we have our D over F sharp. You can play a regular D there if that feels more comfortable for you, or you can play that D over F sharp. So in total, that second half of the verse, let's give that a run through, starting on the G, 2, 3, 4, G, G7, C, C minor, G, E minor, one strum, back to the pattern, D over F sharp. So far, so good. What we're going to be doing next is moving into the chorus. So the chords in the chorus are going to change completely into a different sequence, but the strumming pattern is going to remain the same. The chords will be up on the screen for the first half of the chorus. So let's just go through them one by one. So we have our E minor first. We're then going to have our B minor chord, C major, to our G major. We have E minor again, to the C chord, to our G, D, or D over F sharp. Okay, and our pattern down, 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 up on each chord. So let's give it a try. Here we go, and E minor, B minor, C, to the G chord, E minor, C chord, to the G, D over F sharp. Okay, then the second half of the chorus will be up on the screen. It starts off the same. We have E minor, B minor, C to G. Okay, so that's the same as the first half, just the ending that's a bit different. We're going to go to an A7 chord. We have A minor, and then to our D. Okay, same strumming pattern, down, 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 up. And using that little trick, the up strum is going to help us change to the next chord in time. So let's give that a try, starting on the E minor. Here we go, and down, 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 up, B minor, C, G, E minor, A7, A minor, and D. So there we go. Those are the two strumming sections of the song. We've looked at the verse, we've looked at the chorus, and what we're going to be doing next is zooming in to learn the intro, which is going to be mostly picking. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of how this is going to sound. Now remember, the original is played on a piano, and this is going to be played on the guitar. So it will sound very similar, but not identical. So just keep that in mind. So this is what we are going to be learning today. So notice how I played that entire intro using my thumb. Now that is just a preference. I find it much easier to use my thumb as opposed to using my pick. Now what I do, and you'll notice this in the play along, is I take my pick, I'll just rest it on my knee, I play the intro, and then I will pick my pick up and Desperado. And you see how now we are in the song with the strumming section. So it works really smoothly. Just take your pick, rest it on your leg, have it close by, play the picking part with your thumb, and then you just have to pick it up and off you go. So let's have a look at the picking part. We're going to break it down slowly so that you can see exactly where my fingers go and how to get that recognizable sound from the song. This section really sets the mood for the whole song, plus it is a lot of fun to play. So the tabs will be up on the screen. We're going to have a combination of chords interspersed with a melody line. So the first chord we need is a G major chord. Now we only need to play those top 5 strings. We're going to leave out the high E string. So we're going to strum from the low E string to the B. Okay, now that's our melody notes. Okay, so we really have to bring out that B string. So I really try to accent that B string. We then take our 3rd finger, 3rd fret B, and then we can remove it. So there's the melody. Bum, 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 bum. A G6 chord, we can just strum everything because we're adding the E now to the chord. And that's our other melody notes. So you really want to let that ring through. Then we have 3rd finger, 3rd fret again on the B, open B, open G. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, really get comfortable with that. Bum, 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 bum. The next bar we have our C, and we're just going to be playing the top 2 notes of the C chord, the A string and the D string. Oops, we only need two notes here. Okay, so we're just going to play those 2 at the same time. We then have an open G string, back to the 2nd fret D string. So bum, bum, bum. All right, then we have a very strange chord shape here. We're going to keep our 3rd finger where it is. That 2nd finger is going to go into the 2nd fret on the G. 1st finger is going to go into the 1st fret on the D string. Okay, it's got a very dissonant sound to it, and it's quite uncomfortable to play. From this chord, we have our 2nd finger lifted up, and then we play that D string and the A string with our 1st finger and 3rd finger still holding down those notes. Okay, so from that C minor 6 chord, we strum it, lift our 2nd finger, 1st finger, 3rd finger. Okay, so from the start of that bar with the C, probably the most difficult bar of this whole picking section. We're then going to go back to that G, and we only play those 5 strings. Same 3 notes from the beginning of the intro. We have an E minor next, all the strings we can strum. Then I use my pinky to play in the 3rd fret of the B string. Open B, open G. Okay, so that G part again, we have G, E minor, bring out the high E string for the melody. Okay, then our A sus2, I just take that E minor chord shape and I just drop it down to squeezing the D string and the G string. And we're going to strum those middle 4 strings. We're going to pick out the G string. We're going to take the 2nd finger off for an open G. So again, keeping in mind the melody is coming through on the B string, 2nd fret, G, open G, and then our D chord. We then change to a D7. Okay, so in total, let's play it nice and slowly together from the G. Here we go. And G, E minor, A sus2, Now we've learned all the sections. We have the verses, we've done the chorus, we've done the intro, as well as, I guess, the outro. And what we're going to be doing next is a full playthrough of the song, so I'll see you there. So we're going to go for that full playthrough. Here we go. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. Oh, you're a hard one. I know that you've got your reasons. These things that are pleasing you hurt you somehow. Don't you draw the queen of diamonds, boy. She'll beat you if she's able. You know the queen of hearts is always your best bet. Now it seems to me some fine things have been laid upon your table, but you only want the ones that you can't get. Desperado, oh, you ain't getting no younger. Your pain and your hunger, they're driving you home. And freedom, oh, freedom, well, that's just some people talking. Your prison is walking through this world all alone. Don't your feet get cold in the winter time? The sky won't snow and the sun won't shine. It's hard to tell the nighttime from the day. And you're losing all your highs and lows. Ain't it funny how the feeling goes away? Desperado, why don't you come to your senses? Come down from your fences, open the gates. It may be raining, but there's a rainbow above you. You better let somebody love you. Let somebody love you. You better let somebody love you before it's too late. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed learning Desperado with me today. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. That way you will never miss any lessons that I release in the future. Thanks again, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in another lesson soon. Bye.